From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Millicent Walker.
Hello and welcome. People's Democratic Party leaders ask international community to intervene and save the country's democracy, submit protest letters to UK and US embassies in Abuja. All Progressives Congress National Chairman Adams Oshiomhole dismisses PDP's call, insists opposition party does not have monopoly of protests. Southeast governors seek to establish regional security outfit like Operation Amotekun, convey intentions to federal government and military authorities. And Britain formally exits European Union with an 11-month transition period. Plus, we have business, sports and later international news from our London studios.
On business news tonight, OPEC oil output plunges to a multi-year low in January following supply cuts from key member countries.
On sports news tonight, Dominic Thiem sets up a showdown against defending champion Novak Djokovic in the final of the Australian Open.
And from Abuja, federal government puts in place preparedness and response measures to contain importation of coronavirus into the country, as World Health Organization lists Nigeria as one of the 13 high-priority countries.
The ruling All Progressives Congress and main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, are not about to sheath their sword as far as the Supreme Court ruling on the Imo governorship seat is concerned. While leaders of the PDP continued their protest today to the British and American embassies in Abuja, the APC chieftains were quick to fire back, condemning the action. And even though coronavirus is spreading like wildfire in other parts of the world except Africa, the federal government believes it's better to be safe than sorry and is therefore putting in place measures to ensure that the nation is not caught unawares, especially now that the World Health Organization has listed Nigeria as one of the 13 high-risk countries in Africa. And after a 4-year debate, Britain is finally leaving the European bloc and has 11 months to complete the process. Let's begin with a call by leaders of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the international community to intervene and save the country's democracy, which they say is under threat. They submitted protest letters to the embassies of the United Kingdom and the United States in Abuja. At the US Embassy, the PDP's national chairman explained that there is an urgent need for international intervention to help improve security and the country's judicial system. The party says it fully supports its Senate Minority Leader who asked President Muhammadu Buhari to solve the problem of insecurity or resign.
The content of our petition is for other international communities should come to the aid of Nigeria and to advise our government to obey the rule of law, especially as it relates to the National Assembly and the judiciary. Over the past few weeks, we have passed through very difficult and challenging times. And you know, the case in question is Imo State. And we have submitted our petition. We've addressed a press conference on the issue. And as we speak, Mr. President had lost control of security. Our nation is in danger. We are in pain and we're in trouble. And today, we backed our minority leader asking and demand that Mr. President should resign because he has lost control. Nigeria is not an island on itself. It's a member of United Nations. And so when things goes wrong, other international community can come to advise. And that's why we are here.
In response to the PDP's protests to the UK and US embassies in Abuja, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Adams Oshiomhole, says the opposition party does not have the monopoly of protests. The APC chairman, who led the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House, believes his party has reasons to protest some judgments in favor of the PDP, but choose to bear the pain. Mr. Oshiomhole cited as an example the declaration of a former Imo State governor, Emeka Ihedioha, as winner of the election, pointing out that he failed to fulfill a constitutional requirement.
Yes, I did. Now, is there any of us in this room who is not aware that at the time Emeka Ihedioha was declared, even the returning officer could not show that he scored the constitutional requirement of at least 1/4 of the total vote cast in at least 2/3 of a local government? On that criteria alone, there is no question in the eyes of the law, Emeka Ihedioha ought not to have been declared. But because we are ruling party, we cannot go to the street and begin to protest those things. You also know another state where we won governorship, Senate, Rep, House of Assembly, Zafara. And the Supreme Court says, oh, our primaries were not perfect. Therefore, those who were not in the ballot box were declared. We have to live with that pain. If it is about mobilizing people to attack, we would have pulled out Zafara people to go outside the Supreme Court, but that will not be responsible behavior in a democracy. So we live with the pain because we understand that we operate under the principle of separation of powers. So please don't accept those half-truths. When I saw Secondus leading that protest, I was tempted to tell him who is the real Protestant. How did Wike, Emmanuel Udom, and I believe Dixon, how did they become governor? Supreme Court ordered the previous leadership choose to completely dismiss the use of card reader.
Meanwhile, governors of the southeast states appear to have concluded plans to establish a security outfit similar to Operation Amotekun recently launched by their counterparts in the southwest. The chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum and Ebonyi State Governor, Mr. Dave Umahi, dropped this hint when he hosted the General Officer Commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Lasisi Adigboye, in Abakaliki, the state capital. While the name of the security outfit is yet to be made public, Channels Television gathered that the governors have written to the federal government and also met with military authorities on their plan. The move by the Southeast governors comes on the heels of the controversy triggered by the launch of Operation Amotekun, an action the federal government initially declared as unconstitutional. An agreement has, however, been reached between the federal government and the Southwest governors on a legal framework for the establishment of the security outfit. And in the southwest, commercial motorcycle operators in Lagos State are unhappy about the government's recent decision to restrict them in some local government areas. The operators, who staged a peaceful protest from Ogun Road to the state capital Ikeja, appealed to the state government to regulate their services but not restrict their operations because it is their only means of survival. The restriction of motorcycles and tricycles in some local government areas of the state is expected to come into force from tomorrow, February the 1st. A member of the State House of Assembly, Mr. Bisi Yusuf, who received their operators' petition, appealed to them to abide by the law.
We are here at the legislative arm of the government, the House of Representatives. We are saying, please, the governor, who is an amiable governor, who has ears to the plight of the people, we believe that he may not have been properly informed before this decision was taken. So we are sending our messages to them that they should please consult us and that they should hold on, suspend that restriction until all stakeholders that are involved are properly and duly consulted.
I've received your petition. We will go through it and we will do the reasonable things to do. But pending that very time, please, conduct yourself the way you have done today. Now the government has made pronouncement on this issue. Kindly keep cool and keep to the law until we will call you back.
We're still on the ban, and with the motorcycle and tricycle operators protesting their restriction, our next report assesses the impact of the law on some of the operators and their customers. Our correspondent Gimba Omar tells us more.
From Saturday, tricycle and motorcycle riders in Lagos will be off some of the streets, a ban the government insists it must follow through.
The figures are scary. From 2016 to 2019, there were over 10,000 accidents recorded at the general hospitals alone. This number excludes unreported cases and those recorded by other hospitals. The total number of deaths from reported cases is over 600 as at date.
Women have become prominent in this tricycle business. We flagged one of them down as she lets us in to the challenges she faces following the news of a ban which comes into effect from February the 1st. We rode for 5 minutes to her house. Taking her off the street, she says, is nothing short of cruelty.
People will die for hungry. Sufferness will be too much. No work, no money, no nothing there.
She's not the only female who feels the devastation. Another at the Ogba area of Lagos says that the blanket ban is a measure far-reaching.
What was wrong to let her go to school so that because of my future?
At Berger, a border area with Ogun State, it's a beehive of activities for commercial motorbikes and tricycles. Some in a haste, others asleep. In an instant, this happens. Panic and a sudden dispersal of riders on information that the law enforcement officers are coming. It turns out to be a false alarm, but speaks volumes of their fears. Calm returns quickly. This rider in his 60s says his achievements in life have been from this business.
Out of the whole road now, there's no any way except from street to street. And we cannot even get 10 kobo from there.
There is more to it. Registered riders are also caught up in the web. They believe that the crime rate will escalate with the policy in place. While nursing concerns and preferring solutions to the challenge, the government says it has a plan.
In the next 1 week, we are launching 14 ferries on water transport, and we would be linking those with the bus reform.
For now, activities of the two means of transportation in Lagos will be tested, no matter the circumstances.
As dusty as they may seem, they are faced with a reality, which is the ban of bike riders as well as tricycle riders in some parts of Lagos State as pilots. Will they succeed? Will the government listen? Because this, they say, is their livelihoods. I am Gimba Umar, reporting for Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, federal government puts in place preparedness and response measures to contain importation of coronavirus into the country as World Health Organization lists Nigeria as one of the 13 high priority countries. Do join us again.